love you, Chris. Like a brother. We're friends, right?
For sure.
The story begins in New Jersey, 1995. A teenage Chris Brander stands in his bedroom mirror, practicing how he'll confess his love to his best friend, Jimmy Palomino. Chris is overweight, wearing braces, and covered in nervous energy, but his feelings are genuine.
Hoping to be your boyfriend. Sincerely, Chris Brander.
Tonight is their high school graduation party, and he's written Jaime a heartfelt note. He believes maybe this is the night he'll step out of the dreaded just friend zone. At the party, Chris finally gathers the courage to hand Jaime the note, his hands trembling as he waits for her reaction. She hugs him warmly, pulls him upstairs to her bedroom so they can talk privately. For a suspended moment, Chris thinks the night has finally gone right.
I signed your yearbook. Read it.
But the moment is cut short when Jamie's ex-boyfriend bursts in, fumbling with his yearbook. In the scrambling, he accidentally swaps his yearbook with Chris's yearbook, the very note Chris had planned to give her. Thinking he's found something silly to show the group, he flips it open and reads Chris's private confession out loud. The room erupts in laughter.
Sincerely, Chris Brander, BFF.
It's a joke! That's a joke!
Jaime tries to stop them, insists she cares for Chris, but only as her best friend. Heartbroken and embarrassed, Chris flees, vowing to leave New Jersey and change his life forever. Fast forward 10 years. Chris Brander is no longer the awkward, overweight teen. He's slim, stylish, and successful, working as a high-powered music executive in Los Angeles. Women adore him, and he's confident to the point of arrogance.
Why you just don't take me serious?
Chris seems to have everything he once dreamed of, except, deep down, the unresolved feelings for Jaime still linger. One morning, he's called into his boss's office, where the task is laid out clearly. Chris needs to sign and manage Samantha James, an unpredictable pop star with a notorious reputation. His boss insists Samantha is their next big act, and Chris is the only one who can rein her in.
You're the one that used to diddle her, not me.
It was one date, and I ended up in the hospital.
Chris tries to push back, but his boss won't take no for an answer. Reluctantly, Chris agrees, convincing himself it'll just be another job. Samantha is obsessed with Chris and determined to win his affection, but Chris only sees her as a career obligation. When Samantha insists on flying to Paris to record her album, Chris has no choice but to join her. It's on that flight, thanks to Samantha's recklessness, that things go haywire, leading to an emergency landing in none other than New Jersey.
We're in New Jersey.
Hey, wait a minute. Am I being punked?
For the first time in a decade, Chris finds himself back in his hometown. Once home, Chris visits his mother's house, reunites with his goofy younger brother Mike, who teases him relentlessly. Soon after, Chris ventures into town, and at a local bar, he runs into a few old high school friends who can't hide their shock at his transformation. Chris pretends he's only passing through, but when he spots Jaime working as a bartender at a local hangout, old emotions rush back. She hasn't changed, still the girl he fell for.
It's really great to see you again.
You too.
Suddenly, Chris sees this unplanned detour as fate, a chance to finally win Jaime's heart. But it won't be so easy as Chris struggles to reconnect with Jaime at a genuine level. His attempts at impressing her with his money and success come off as arrogant, and Jaime gently reminds him she values kindness and sincerity more than wealth or charm. Later, Chris convinces Jaime to spend the afternoon with him, hoping to show her a more relaxed, fun side. They head out to the local ice rink, a nostalgic spot for their high school days. At first, things go well as Chris tries to impress her with his confidence.
Stupid. Rental skates.
You know what? You're a lot better than before.
But his bravado doesn't match his skating skills. Within minutes, he's wobbling, flailing, and finally crashing hard on the ice. Things grow even more complicated when Dusty Dinkelman enters the picture. Dusty, once the school nerd and a rival of Chris's, is now a paramedic who hides his manipulative nature behind a charming facade. Dusty plays the nice guy card with Jaime, hoping to slide into her good graces. Chris quickly recognizes Dusty as competition and vows to outshine him. What follows is a string of comedic showdowns between the two, each trying to one-up the other in Jamie's eyes.
Ding dong.
Dusty, hey, why?
Meanwhile, Samantha James grows increasingly jealous. Desperate to keep Chris's attention, her over-the-top behavior, singing loudly in public, trashing his belongings, and throwing tantrums creates chaos for Chris at every turn. Instead of focusing on Jamie, he's constantly distracted by Samantha's antics. One of the turning points comes during a holiday gathering at Jamie's parents' house. She invites both Chris and Dusty to her parents' house for a holiday get-together. Chris sees it as a perfect chance to prove he's matured into the man Jamie deserves. But his plans unravel the moment Samantha James crashes the party.
Forgive this asshole now!
Despite the humiliation, Jamie still sees the Chris she once cared for, and later quietly comes by his house to talk. They share a sweet conversation, laughing about old times and letting their guard down when Jamie leans closer. Sparks feel real. It's clear that she's ready to give him a chance, but when that moment arrives, Chris freezes. His body language turns awkward, and instead of embracing the opportunity, he pulls back in fear.
Good night, Jamies.
After several failed attempts to win Jamie's heart, Chris begins to notice cracks in Dusty's perfect facade. Dusty, charming and polite on the surface, is actually manipulative and self-serving. Determined to finally be honest, Chris pulls Jamie aside. At first, she's skeptical, recalling how Dusty has seemed so reliable and sweet. But Chris recounts little moments she hadn't noticed. Suddenly, Dusty's charm evaporates instantly. Placed by arrogance and entitlement, Jamie watches, shocked and disillusioned, as the man she thought was kind and dependable finally shows his selfish, deceitful nature.
Dusty and I are friends.
Right. Not for too long, I hope.
At his lowest point, Chris lashes out, letting his arrogance and wounded pride take control. He insults Jamie, claiming she'll always be stuck in a small town, never moving forward. The words cut deep, and Jamie pulls away, leaving Chris devastated. Defeated, Chris returns to Los Angeles, but in his heart, he knows he's running away again, just as he did years ago. Determined not to let fear control him, Chris drives back to New Jersey. He arrives at Jamie's house on New Year's Eve. He apologizes for his arrogance for running away and for not showing his real self. He admits he's loved her all along, ever since high school. That being just friends was never enough. Jamie, touched by his honesty and vulnerability, forgives him. She reveals she's always cared deeply for him too, but needed him to be genuine, not a polished version of someone he thought he should be. At last, they share a kiss, this time without pretense, without fear, just love. The story closes with Chris finally breaking free of the friend zone, not by reinventing himself, but by embracing who he truly is. Our journey through this classic has come to an end, but the nostalgia never stops. Hit subscribe for more retro movie adventures and drop a comment letting me know which movie we should revisit next.